The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Today our first visit will be with Nancy Durette, whose garden was planned for privacy and also noise abatement, since her spacious corner lot faces a busy road. Keeping that in mind, she carefully designed it to be every inch a peaceful retreat, including a favorite spot she calls her circle garden. Then for a change of pace, we'll take a tour of Pitary Garden Center, and owner Fontene will show us how annuals can make a garden come alive just by their sheer abundance. And the planting of annuals will give a garden a burst of color for all season long. So come along and enjoy today's trip beyond the garden gate. Good morning and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Garden Gate. Today we're in the garden of Nancy and Lee Durette.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
This is the corner of their lot, and it's right on Hills Ferry Road. And as you can see, it's a little bit of car traffic going by, but we'll just have to deal with that. But you have some really beautiful plantings along here.
This one gets very tall. This can go up to here, and I keep trimming it back, but I think I'm going to let it go into almost a tree form.
And what is it?
Oh,
a golden? Is it? It's an arborvitae of some?
Arborvitae. It's an arborvitae of some kind.
And you have Scotch broom over here?
Scotch broom, that's beautiful yellow, first thing that blooms is spring almost.
But what's so interesting is this rose bush. Yeah. This is magnificent. What are you feeding this?
Well, I'd have to ask my husband. He feeds everything once a week at least. This grows to be 10 feet tall, but we keep it trimmed back for visibility on the corner.
And then you have the boxwood, of course.
Yeah, boxwood.
It's lovely. Just beautiful. And you've got some very pretty yellow flowers over here.
Those are, they were called American poppies when I put them in. They seem like an Icelandic poppy because they reseed and they come back every year.
And it's unusual for them to be in bloom this time of the year. Usually a poppy, we usually think of them as a spring.
These bloom all summer.
They bloom all summer.
All summer.
Very nice.
Summer. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The rose bush is one of the first things we put in.
Is that right?
Everybody admires it when they come by.
The color is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. Very. Does it have a fragrance?
Not too much.
Well, we've seen one corner of your lot. There's another corner that's equally as beautiful. Let's take a walk over there and take a peek.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And over here we have a beautiful dogwood that's in bloom. And it's got a little pink to it. What kind of a dogwood is this?
This is a Kusa, and when I purchased it, they said it was a pink edge with a white flower. And you can see that up close. There's quite an edge of pink. And sometimes if it has more sun, it stays whiter. If it has more shade, it stays...
So this side of the tree has more shade.
Right. Yeah. So you can see that. It's beautiful. And I put it a little too close to the lot line, but I was afraid to move it.
No, it's too late.
It also sends out a lot of seedlings. Most of them revert back to the original plant, so they wouldn't necessarily be this kind of plant, but I think every once in a while one comes up that's different.
Right.
And I keep those. But right now it's full of them.
And you've got a beautiful blue spruce here.
That blue spruce? Yeah.
Good thing there aren't any wires above.
No, someone made fun of us for putting it in. It was about 10 inches high. And our little grandson was towering over it, and now it towers over all of us.
Yeah.
It's 11 years.
They get huge. They go to about 30 feet, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly going to give you, this little corner gives you a lot of privacy for your porch.
Right.
Yeah.
Our reason for putting all these plants in is for privacy. It was all open, nothing was here. except basic shrubs.
And I hear Lee has quite a little party going on out here in
He
the
does.
evening
Oh, how'd
with
you hear
Frank
about that?
Sinatra.
Oh yeah, someone told you about it.
Yes, he
yeah.
loves Frank Sinatra, and he comes out here and
Right.
listens to Frankie.
Yeah.
And he has all the privacy in the world, even though he's right on the corner.
Right. We
Very,
have some
very
great
nice.
neighbors, and they like to join him at night for a glass of wine and a cigar.
And a cigar. That's wonderful. That's what neighbors are for.
That's right.
So, well, there's a beautiful item over here that I'd like to take a
Oh,
look at.
The fountain.
The fountain.
Yeah.
Well, this is not the typical bird bath that I have ever seen.
No.
Where did you find this beauty?
This beauty I found on Cape Cod. And
Really?
I looked high and low for something unique and special. And I thought the cement ones were too flamboyant for me, with the fancy carvings and things. So
It's very zen.
it's Zen, and it's made by an artist in Seattle. And he does Japanese gongs and bird baths.
And it's made of copper?
It's made of copper
Yeah.
and rusted iron.
Right. And very appropriate next to your Japanese Andromeda.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it made quite a statement before everything grew up around it. Now it's not as visible, but
It's just, it
I love
is
it.
exquisite.
in fact, if it rusted out, I would have to get another one.
Oh, I don't
like it
think
that
it
much.
will. I don't
No.
think it will.
Maybe
No.
not.
So.
But it's quite blue in here when
very
it's clean.
pretty.
It does get a little dirty with.
Yeah.
But the birds love it, and they sit up here and fly down and back and forth.
So they can perch and drink. Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, I see some veggies growing along the side of the house. Can we check those out?
Oh, sure.
And I see Lee has some beans growing here.
That's correct. These are his vortex beans, and they grow all up here. This whole thing is full of greens. The beans can be as long as this, and they're wonderful in spite of the length, and they're stringless.
They're stringless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're delicious. In fact, we had our last bunch for dinner a few days ago from frozen that he's
Oh,
prepared.
from last year.
Yeah, he froze them. And then these wax beans in the front are bush beans, and he put those in just for me.
Yeah. Oh, I like the
'Cause
the
I like-
little bud
Aren't
on
they-
there.
I know, aren't they pretty?
Yeah, it's very pretty.
So pretty.
And how high will these bush beans get?
The bush beans, they don't get much higher than they are, maybe this high, and very thick, and you really have to hunt for beans because there's tons of them in there.
Now, do you have to brace them or support them in any way?
These
or-
he won't support.
No.
I don't believe, no.
No.
But we enjoy them all year round.
Oh, it's so wonderful when you come out in your garden and
Yeah.
pick something and
We
take it
usually-
in and eat it.
Right,
You know.
we usually pick them before we eat them. We'll pick enough for dinner.
Great.
Cook them that way.
Well, something is beckoning behind us.
Oh, really? It must be that clematis.
It must be that beautiful clematis. Nancy, this is a beautiful specimen of a clematis or clematis or clementis. Everyone has a different pronunciation.
It's my favorite, pièce de résistance. It's so beautiful, and the flower seems smaller this year, but it's still gorgeous. Blooms for a month,
Wow.
and we're enjoying it thoroughly. I wish I had one on every corner.
Now, do the bees come to this?
I don't see a lot of bees here, but I'm sure that they do come. I put another one on the other side, a pink one, and it's doing very well. It's only been there 2 years, and you can see it has a lot of buds.
It is doing well.
So we're enjoying that too.
Very nice.
Yeah, but this I love. This is my favorite, probably, of anything I have.
Really. This is a very pretty nasturtium you have.
Right.
Did you start those from
I
seeds?
started these from seeds. I had a package and I put them everywhere, and I said some grow and some don't grow, but we'll see what happens.
And there was one there that has a variegated
Yep,
leaf.
beautiful. This is supposed to climb, and it has its first bud. You can see right in
Oh,
here.
wonderful.
But I've been waiting anxiously for them to bud.
Now, do you eat your nasturtiums?
I have. We've
Yeah.
tried them. Yeah.
They're nice in a
They are.
salad.
They are. They're
A
pretty.
little bitter.
Yeah, especially on a plate. They're just beautiful to decorate the plate.
Yeah.
So we like that.
Okay, let's head on down to the next part of the garden.
Oh.
I see some very beautiful annuals in bloom.
Thank you.
Well, besides all the very pretty annuals, you have something very unusual here. What is this?
It's called Sky Tower Holly. And it's a holly plant that grows about 10 feet high. It stays narrow, makes a nice hedge of vertical hedge.
It'll give you a nice little privacy wall for up here on the deck.
And we also took off the rail here, so that's to help stop people.
Yeah, so they don't step into the yard, into the garden. And this planter down here.
Oh, this is a hyper-tough planter. A few years ago, my neighbor and I made some, and they're made of vermiculite and cement and mud.
That's fun.
Mud. Yeah, so we made a few. I've got one over there, a square one, and I made a few round ones, and there's a round one over there. But other than everything in the garden, the basic garden is perennial, and this is the only thing I do.
Well, it just gives you that little pop this time of the year.
It does, yeah. And we need that. As you know, without these, there wouldn't be much color today.
No, and you've got your million bells here.
Yeah.
That's a lovely color.
Right. Isn't that pretty?
Those are nice, but you know, they're much easier to take care of than petunias, but they don't have the fragrance.
No.
We're having a little competition behind us here.
Yes, that's right.
Nancy's neighbor is having a new driveway put in, so...
Unfortunately, they're doing it today, which I would not have known.
But, you know, this is part of city living.
That's
You've got neighbors right next door, and we all have to learn to live with them.
That's correct.
But let's go over into the other corner of the yard, into the, what is it? What did you call it?
The circle garden.
The circle garden.
That's my special place.
Okay. And here we are in what you call your circle garden.
That's right.
How did this come about?
I started the circle garden because I wanted to create a space, a private space, where it's a little bit like a secret garden. And I chose a circle just because I wanted to make a circle garden all my life.
That's nice.
So I started with cut the circle, and then the first thing we did was plant. I bought one tiarella plant, which is called foam flower, and from one plant I created starts to make all of this around the circle.
Yeah.
Then I started the yellow behind it in the Huchera plant. I'm creating a circle with that. And then I'll be doing one more. I haven't quite finished. I'm going to move all the irises, and I may put irises in.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah.
So,
but this is a lovely little corner, and it breaks up your lawn space.
It does.
Yeah.
That was the reason for it.
Yeah.
So we.
And this is a weeping cherry.
This is a weeping cherry, and it's probably bigger than I should have put here, but I love it.
And it's beautiful. It's not going to get any bigger. It's just the trunk. Well, it's just like human beings, you know, the older we get, our trunks fill out a little bit.
That's true.
Well, this is a lovely assortment of hostas you have in here, and right in the middle of it is this beautiful astilbe, and it's such a pretty shade of pink.
Right.
It's very, very light.
This is the first astilbe to bloom each year, and most of this I put here to hide the air conditioning system, but it's beautiful, and there are others coming on the other side of the house. The hosta variety, again, the big leaf was to hide this unit, and they are all in bloom. Usually they don't bloom till October. I mean, August.
Later on.
So I was kind of surprised.
And I see over here you've got a little white columbine.
That's right. Just sprouted up.
Just sprouted
up.
There's
a lot of those around.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful piece. I found this at the outdoor marketplace in Nashua a couple of years ago, and it was much smaller, but I think that's full growth, and it's called praying hands.
Praying hands, and that's another form of hosta?
Yes, it is. And you can see the leaf. It looks pretty much
very
like a hosta,
pretty,
but it folds up, and hence praying hands.
Very pretty. So, we got something nibbling on this hosta.
Oh, it may be we pulled the hose out and it gets bumped around a bit, but I can cut those off. I have another Japanese maple. Came from a garden club sale, the original, and then this is a seedling off of that one. It's on the other side of the garden. But
Those garden club sales, they're the best,
right,
aren't
yeah.
they? Yeah.
This one, though, because it came from that tree, was even freer, even cheaper.
Even cheaper. And you have more Astilbe
More,
here,
lots
and
of-
they haven't quite opened up yet.
No, but they're beautiful. I love the Astilbe. In fact, it may be my second favorite after that clematis.
That's lovely. Okay. Well, we're almost to the end of our journey.
Oh, is
We're
it
heading
right?
on the other side of the house.
Okay.
So let's take a walk over there.
All right.
What is this tree?
This is called a Dawn Redwood, and it's really quite lovely, admired by many. It was thought extinct until 1944.
Oh, wow.
And now there's not that many of the species, but it's becoming more common.
Yeah.
In fact, I read that in 2006 there were only 120 of these trees.
Wow.
And we found it at an old nursery here in Nashua, and they recommend it because we wanted something that grows really fast.
To cut back on the
To
noise.
cut back on the noise and the wires.
wires.
Because we have so many wires.
Uh-huh.
So we put it in the first year. We brought it home in a Honda regular wagon, and it was about 6 feet tall.
6 feet.
Yeah, and it grew 6 feet the first year.
Oh my goodness.
It doubles in size almost every year.
Did you think, oh my gosh, what have I created?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about the size, but we'll leave it.
And it is deciduous.
It's deciduous, and it grows in a cone shape.
It's very beautiful.
It has cones on it, but we haven't seen any yet. It does have female and male cones both on the same.
So do you have to have a male and a female in order for it to produce the cones?
I think so, but we don't want any more in that.
You don't want it.
One is enough.
Yeah.
It may get as wide as 40 feet.
40
probably
feet wide.
We'll probably have to prune the bottom eventually.
Okay.
And they recommend lightning rods when it gets really big.
Lightning rods.
That's
Why
right.
is that?
Grounding, because it's so tall.
Okay.
So tall. But we have a lot of tall things around here. If it gets to be 100 feet tall, I don't think I'll live to see that, so I'm not worried.
No, that's why when I plant something, it has to be big.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have enough years left.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Everything has to be big, but we enjoy it, and you don't have to rake when it loses its leaves. They're so tiny, they just disintegrate.
They just disintegrate into the lawn.
Right.
So,
So-
speaking about your lawn, it is beautiful. This is Lee's job?
He does. He takes care of the lawn 100%.
Does he mulch it right back into?
He doesn't mulch it. He has in the past, but he doesn't. He collects it, and he does a Scots program on it.
At my house, I call my husband the hole digger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hole digger. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I think that's what all of our husbands are, the hole diggers and the haulers.
Right. Yeah.
So, well, Jean Nancy, thank you so much.
It's nice to see you. And
It's
hope you
a
enjoyed
real
the tour.
pleasure. Now that the guys across the street have decided to take a break,
Yeah.
I think we will too.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Thanks again.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Garden Gate. Today we're in the garden of Fontene Pitary here in Nashua. We're out on West Hollis Street, and as you can see, this garden is a blaze of color. She advocates putting in a lot of annuals with your perennials, and that's what's going to give you the color.
Yeah.
That's what you've taught me over the years. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. You have to have a lot of annuals to have color for the the rest of the summer.
Well, let's take a walk through the garden and see all that color.
Oh, gotta wait. So.
Speaking about the most colorful garden I've ever seen, this is it. Tremendous amount of annuals and mixed in with the perennials. This is liatris over here, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And what is the blue flower in front of it?
That's salvia.
Salvia.
Yeah, that's annual. You gotta do that every year.
That's an annual. The salvia is the annual?
Yes. They do have a perennial though.
Pardon?
They do have a perennial, but it doesn't flower all summer.
Oh, it doesn't. It's lovely, and it really complements all the flowers, the colors of the petunias that you have around. So, how long have you been here?
2 years.
52 years. So you're a novice gardener.
Well, I love to garden. I love the earth, you know, the dirt. I work with my hands and I do it all.
Wonderful. Everything is so abundant. What do you use for fertilizer?
We use on everything, my flowers, all over the grounds, a triple 10. 10, 10, 10.
10.
It's
And
the
good
best.
soil.
Good soil.
And 10, 10, 10.
And always use mulch.
Oh, absolutely.
It does. It helps for the flowers and pulling the weeds out. too.
You mulch or compost?
Mulch.
Mulch.
I use the natural, the hemlock.
The hemlock.
Yes.
Right.
Not the one with the color in it.
No. What do they put in that to make it red?
It's they put color. It's all that stuff. The red one, the black one. It's all demolition. And what they do, they ground together and they put color inside.
Just to enhance. The appearance.
Yes.
But it does nothing for the flowers.
No, and it's no good. I would never use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's some more in the back here. So can we walk towards the
Just
back and
walk around.
All right.
Welcome to it.
Okay. Well, we're walking around, and again, a mass of color everywhere you look, and statuary, and urns, and trees, and furniture, and there's just everything here you could possibly imagine. What kind of a tree is this?
Those are the dwarf ones. They're the peach trees. I had them for maybe 25 years.
I just saw a peach, and I found a little cluster of peaches, and even the peaches are tiny.
They are small.
All right.
Usually I take them off because they get the other ones they get bigger, but time is the limit for me.
Yeah. So no problems with the squirrels coming out here and nibbling on them, or raccoons?
No, they don't come here.
And you said you've had this tree for how many years?
25 years.
25 years.
that's
Usually
another
the standards usually don't live that long.
Well, this one does.
Wow, that's a beauty.
It might
And
be-
the foliage is
Yes,
nice
it is
too.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, well, where is our next space that we should check out?
Whatever you want.
Okay, let's go over and check out the bridge. And Fontene, tell me about this lovely little bridge.
This is a gift, actually, but I wanted one, and my son gave it to me for Christmas. There's no water underneath it. But I love it. I love it.
You got your stones.
Yes.
You got your stones.
Yeah.
And it's made of metal, so
Yes, it is.
it's going to be, how long has it been here?
It's been 10 years.
10 years,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And I see something over here rather unusual. You have a butterfly bush, and you're
Yes.
training it into a standard.
Yes, I am. I like to have him as a tree instead of bush, and I have another one way over as a bush, but I'm experiencing.
Experimenting? Yeah,
to
that's
see. But
great.
it's looking good so far.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah.
It takes up a lot less room.
Yes.
When it's a tree.
yes,
Yeah.
it does.
And the zinnias are beautiful. The
Yeah.
colors are
Yeah,
gorgeous.
those are annuals again. Not them. You won't have the color.
And you know, you use a lot of petunias in the garden. Most people just use them for the hanging pots.
I
but
love petunias.
they're wonderful.
They're wonderful and they're colorful. I mean, I mix them up and everything, but they give a lot of color.
And
they
a
have
very
nice aroma.
very wonderful
Yes.
fragrance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, we have a lot of nice lilies.
Yeah, those are the tiger lilies.
The tiger lilies, they're
The
in
sedum's
bloom.
going to be open pretty soon.
Oh, the sedum over
Yeah,
here.
the baby's breath.
Is that autumn haze?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I have quite a bit of that around the yard.
Fountains invite customers to sit and relax for a while and simply enjoy their soothing sounds. Being watched over by a very large bear, we stop to admire their vegetable garden. Thanks again, Fontene, for sharing your beautiful garden with us today. It was a real treat. So bye for now, and please join us again for our next episode. Bye-bye.
preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.